What if I told you that right now, thousands of Australian pensioners are missing out on hundreds of dollars every single fortnight? Not because they aren't entitled to it, but simply because no one ever told them. Well, today that changes. Welcome back to Super Centrelink AU, the channel dedicated to making sure you never miss a cent that's rightfully yours. And if you're about to keep scrolling thinking this is just another minor adjustment, please stop. Because what's unfolding with Australia's pension system in 2026 is genuinely different. We're talking new rates, revised thresholds, and updated payment rules. Whether you're on the age pension, disability support pension, or carer payment, every single one of these changes hits your bank account directly. In the first few minutes of this video, I'm going to share something Centrelink isn't exactly broadcasting from the rooftops. The majority of pensioners have no idea this has changed. Some have already missed payments they were fully entitled to. And by the time this video wraps up, you'll know exactly what you should be receiving, when it arrives, and what steps you need to take right now to make sure you're collecting every dollar you're owed. Don't go anywhere. This is the most significant pension update of 2026, and it starts right now. Let's get straight to the part that should be making headlines because, frankly, no one is saying this loudly enough. In Australia, pension rates are indexed twice annually, in March and September. That's the standard cycle. But in 2026, there has been mounting pressure on the government to push rates beyond the typical consumer price index adjustment. The reason? The cost of living across Australia has surged. Groceries, power bills, rent, fuel. Australians on fixed incomes have been under more financial strain than at any point in the past 2 decades. Advocacy organisations have been vocal about this crisis. The Council on the Ageing Australia, COTA, published figures showing that a single pensioner living independently needed considerably more than the base pension just to cover basic necessities. And the government, to its credit, did respond. Not fully, not perfectly, but it did respond. So what does that look like in actual dollar terms? Following the 2026 indexation adjustments, a single-age pensioner's fortnightly payment has risen by more than in previous years. The full picture, combining the base pension, energy supplement, and pension supplement, adds up to a total that many Australians still can't quite piece together, largely because Centrelink splits it across so many separate line items that the overall figure gets buried. Here's the complete breakdown. For a single person on the full-age pension in 2026, the base rate sits at roughly $1,149 per fortnight. But that's not the final amount hitting your account. You also receive the pension supplement, approximately $83.20 per fortnight for a single person, plus the energy supplement of $14.10 per fortnight. Put it all together, and a single full-rate age pensioner is now collecting approximately $1,246.30 per fortnight. Spread across the year, that's more than $32,000 annually. For couples where both partners receive the full pension, each person gets a base rate of around $866.10 per fortnight. Add each partner's pension supplement of roughly $62.70 and the energy supplement of $10.60, and each person receives approximately $939.40 per fortnight. As a household, that's more than $1,878 per fortnight coming through the door. These figures reflect the March 2026 indexation adjustment. And here's what tends to surprise people most. These are the full rates. Millions of Australians are on a part pension, and the way that's calculated has also shifted in 2026, meaning some of you may now be entitled to a higher rate than before, or may be qualifying for the pension for the very first time. Let's break down the income test and the assets test, because this is where money gets left behind every single day. The income test determines your pension rate based on earnings from outside sources such as part-time work, investments, or rental income. In 2026, the income-free area for a single pensioner is approximately $204 per fortnight. For couples combined, it's around $360 per fortnight. Put simply, if you earn less than $204 as a single person in any given fortnight, your pension remains untouched. You receive the full rate. Beyond that threshold, your pension reduces by 50 cents for every dollar earned. That's the taper rate. Now here's a significant 2026 update you really need to hear. The work bonus has been made permanent and expanded. If you've reached pension age and you're picking up casual or part-time work, you can earn up to $300 per fortnight from that employment without it affecting your pension at all. And any unused portion of that bonus accumulates in a balance of up to $11,800, which means an occasional higher earning fortnight won't wipe out your pension. This is a major change. If you've been working part-time in retirement and weren't aware of the work bonus bank, there's a real chance your pension has been reduced when it shouldn't have been. Speak with Centrelink or a financial information service officer as soon as possible. Now onto the assets test, which is the one that catches people completely off guard. Centrelink looks at the total value of your assets, excluding your primary home if you own one, and uses that figure to determine whether you receive the full pension, a part pension, or no pension at all. In 2026, the full pension assets threshold for a single homeowner sits at approximately $309,750. Below that figure, you receive the full rate. For couples who own their home, that combined threshold is roughly $450,500. Here's the number that matters even more: the upper threshold, the point where your pension cuts out entirely. For a single homeowner, that's now around $674,000. For a couple who own their home, it's approximately $1,045,000. If your assets fall between the lower and upper thresholds, you're on a part pension. For every $1,000 of assets over the lower threshold, your pension reduces by $3 per fortnight. What this means for 2026 is significant. If your assets have declined, whether through a drop in your super balance, a sale of property, or underperforming investments, you may now qualify for a higher pension rate or even reinstate a pension you previously lost. Do not sit on this. Notify Centrelink of any meaningful change in your asset position. A reduction in what you own could translate directly to more money in your pocket each fortnight. Now let's cover the disability support pension and carer payment, because millions of Australians on these payments are also seeing increases this year. The DSP for a single person has risen in line with age pension rates. In 2026, a single DSP recipient on the full rate receives approximately $1,246.30 per fortnight, including supplements, the same maximum as a single age pensioner. The same income and assets tests apply. The carer payment has also been indexed upward. A single full-rate carer payment recipient receives roughly the same as a single pensioner. The carer supplement, a separate annual payment of $600 per year for each person on the carer payment, continues in 2026. Some eligible carers also receive the Child Disability Assistance payment if they're caring for a child with a disability. And if you receive the carer allowance on top of the carer payment, that separate fortnightly payment, currently around $150 per fortnight, has also been indexed upward this year. Here's something that almost never gets discussed, yet it could mean hundreds of extra dollars annually for a significant number of pensioners. Commonwealth Rent Assistance. If you're a pensioner renting privately, in community housing, or in a retirement village, you may be entitled to rent assistance on top of your regular pension payments. In 2026, the maximum rent assistance for a single person with no dependents is approximately $211 per fortnight. For couples, that figure is around $198 per fortnight combined. To access rent assistance, you need to be paying rent above a minimum threshold and have that rental arrangement verified with Centrelink. If you're renting and not receiving rent assistance, log into MyGov or call Centrelink today. This isn't a bonus payment, it's money you're entitled to, and it won't appear automatically unless your rental details are already recorded on your file. Let's also briefly touch on two other options that don't get nearly enough attention: the Pension Bonus Scheme and the Home Equity Access Scheme. The Home Equity Access Scheme, formerly known as the Pension Loan Scheme, allows eligible older Australians who own property to receive a voluntary, non-taxable government loan using their home as security. In 2026, you can access up to 150% of the maximum pension rate through this scheme. This is not a welfare payment. It's a loan secured against your property that gets repaid when the home is eventually sold. For retirees who are asset-rich but cash-poor, this option can make an enormous practical difference. If you own a home worth $600,000 but you're struggling to cover weekly expenses on a part pension, this scheme was designed for people exactly like you, yet most have never heard of it. So here's your 2026 action checklist. Write this down or save this video. First, check your current payment rate through MyGov or by calling Centrelink and compare it against the 2026 figures covered in this video. If something doesn't line up, raise it immediately. Second, if your assets or income have changed since your last Centrelink review, notify them straight away. A drop in assets can mean a rise in your pension. Third, if you're renting, confirm that rent assistance is being applied to your payments. Fourth, If you're doing any casual or part-time work, make sure the work bonus is active and that your bonus bank balance is being tracked. Fifth, if you own your home but are struggling financially, look into the Home Equity Access Scheme. Sixth, if you were previously cut off from the pension due to the assets test and your financial position has since changed, reapply. The thresholds have moved in 2026 and you may now qualify again. Every dollar you're owed represents something you earned, contributed to, and deserve. Centrelink won't always chase you down to hand it over. You need to go to them armed with the right information. And that is precisely why this channel exists. If this video has helped you get a clearer picture of your pension entitlements, please hit the thumbs up button right now. It helps more Australians find this information exactly when they need it. Subscribe to Super Centrelink AU so you never miss an update, because these rates change twice a year and we cover every single adjustment as it happens. Leave a comment below telling us where you're at. Are you on the full pension, a part pension, or are you trying to qualify for the first time? This community includes people in every situation, and the conversations in the comments section are genuinely worth reading. And please share this video with anyone you know who is already on the pension or approaching retirement age. One share could mean hundreds of extra dollars in their pocket every fortnight. That's not a small thing. That is someone's grocery bill. That is someone's electricity bill. That is someone's dignity. Thank you for watching. This is Super Centrelink AU, and we'll see you in the next one.